Yasudanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Haribol, 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 Bolo Haribol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Astu Trasatat Sissimat His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder-Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Astotra Satat Sisima Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavena Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Pram Se Kahau Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Sri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Sri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Syamakunda Radha Kunda Girigovardhan Ki Jai. Shabindavan Mathurdam Ki Jai. Jamayapur Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannathpuri Dham Ki Jai. Simhachalam Dham Ki Jai. Gangamai Yamunamai Ki Jai. Srimati Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Is Confana Sila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to Sisi Gauranga Gauranga. How many minutes?
One line left.
It's okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram cheva naruttamam devim saraswatim vyasa tato jaya mudirayet nastapaye svabhadisu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamasloke bhakti bhavaiti naistiki. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 20, Text 12. So, thank you for coming to join us for this segment of the morning program, the Bhagavatam. Title of this chapter is Lord Vishnu's appearance in the sacrificial arena. Vinasya lingasya guna pravahu Dravya kriyakara kachita natmana. Distasu sampatsu vipatsu surayo. Na vikriyante mai badasuridaha. Vinasya lingasya guna pravaho. Dravya kriyakara kachita natmana. Distasu sampatsu vipatsu surayo. Navi kriyante mai badasuridaha. Vinasya lingasya guna pravaho. Dravya kriyakara kachitanatmana. Distasu sampatsu vipatsu surayo. Navikriyante mai badasuridaha. Can someone try?
Vinasya lingasya guna pravaho. Dravya kriya karaka chetanatmana. Rishkasu zampatsu vipatsu surayo. Nami krayante mai bhatta sohita. Vinasya lingasya guna pravaho. Dravya kriya karaka chetanatmana. Krishtasu sampatsu vipatsu surayo. Navikriyante mai bhata soridaha.
Ladies? So, thank you. Word for word translation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is confirmed Acharya, Srila Abhacharya Navinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you. Vinasya, different. Lingasya, of the body. Guna, of the three modes of material nature. Pravaha, the constant change. Dravya, physical elements. Kriya, activities of the senses. Karaka, demigods. Chetana, and the mind. Atmanaha, consisting of. Drishtasu, when experienced. Sampatsu, happiness. Vipatsu, distress. Surayaha, those who are advanced in knowledge. Na, never. Vikriyante, become disturbed. Mai, unto me. Labda suridaha, bound in friendship. Translation. Lord Vishnu told King Prithu, my dear king, the constant change of this material world is due to the interaction of the three modes of material nature. The five elements, the senses, the demigods, who control the senses, as well as the mind, which is agitated by the spirit soul. All these taken together comprise the body. Since the spirit soul is completely different from the combination of gross and subtle material elements, my devotee who is connected with me in intense friendship and affection, being completely in knowledge, is never agitated by material happiness or distress. Please kindly respond, repeat. Lord Vishnu told King Prithu, my dear king, the constant change of this material world is due to the interaction of the three modes of material nature. The five elements, the senses, the demigods who control the senses, as well as the mind, which is agitated by the spirit soul. All these taken together comprise the body. Since the spirit soul is completely different from this combination of gross and subtle material elements, my devotee who is connected with me in intense friendship and affection, being completely in knowledge, is never agitated by material happiness and distress. So, let's listen with rapt attention to the purport of Srila Prabhupada. The question may be raised that if the living entity has to act as the superintendent of the activities of the bodily combination, then how can he be indifferent to the activities of the body? The answer is given here. These activities are completely different from the activities of the spirit soul of the living entity. A crude example can be given in this connection. A businessman riding in a motor car sits in the car, supervises, is running and advises the driver. He knows how much gasoline is used up, and he knows everything about the car. But still, he is apart from the car and is more concerned with his business. Even while riding in the car, he thinks of his business and his office. He has no connection with the car, although he is sitting there. As a businessman is always absorbed in the thoughts of his business, so the living entity can be absorbed in thoughts of rendering loving service to the Lord. Then it will be possible to remain separate from the activities of the material body. This position of neutrality can be possible only by a devotee. The word Bada Suridaha, Abada Suridaha, bound in friendship, is particularly used here. Kamis, Gyanis, and Yogis cannot be bound in devotional service. Kamis fully engaged in the activities of the body. Their aim of life is to give comfort to the body only. Gyanis try to get out of entanglement by philosophical speculation, but they have no standing in the liberated position because they do not take shelter under the lotus feet of the Lord. They fall down from the exalted position of Brahman realization. Yogis also have a bodily concept of life. They think that They can achieve something spiritual by exercising the body through dharana, asana, pranayama, etc. A devotee's position is always transcendental because of his intimate relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, to remain always aloof from the actions and reactions of the body and engage in one's real occupation, namely rendering service to the Lord, can be possible only for devotees. Kamagyan Timirandasya, Ganajana Salakaya, Saksol Minitam, Yena Tismai, Se Gurave Maha. Sachetaya Manovistam, Stafitam, Yena Bhutali, Swayam Rupam, Karamayam, Dadati Sva, Padantikam. Vandisi Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda Sahodata, Godadaya Paspavanto, Chita Chandu, Tamonand. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Itinam. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurabani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunya Vadi Paswati Hadi Satari Vansha Kalpatari Vachara Kripasana Katitalam Vaishnava Vibhyo Namo Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Sagora Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. What time do you normally stop your class?
Usually at 9. With questions.
From 7:45 to 9 o'clock? Wow. Okay. So once again, welcome everyone to this morning Bhagavatam class. So this is part of the metaphysical information of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Metaphysics has to do with analysis of the bodily structure, the content, or what comprises of the body, and what is in there. So traditionally, people tend to think that all karmis, sometimes we are very discriminatory. We say, oh, they are karmis. So people in general, they tend to think that the purpose of this life is to work very hard and maintain the body very nicely. Take care of the body. We also say the advocacy of the Vaishnava Vedanta is also that we should take care of the body, but for what? To be able to keep the body fit for services in devotion to the Lord. Whereas the normal people in quote, is that they maintain the body so as to explore and exploit the body. Take care of the body very nicely so as to explore and exploit it, which is also good. Because people have different purposes regarding their lives. If you go to the street and ask someone what is the purpose of your life, they will tell you something very, very charming, very interesting. So, Prabhupada is mentioning the purport here about the position of the karmis, that people in general, they refer to as karmis. Karmis means people who are engaged in just maintaining the body for enjoyment. Enjoyment also is good. It's not a bad thing. So, but if the purpose is exclusively for just working so hard to acquire big degrees, I know some of my friends, they even have 3 PhDs. I know one guy who has 5 PhDs. But if someone does not understand that we have to walk beyond just satisfying the body, then the whole life is a failure. And this is the position of the karmis. So this is the position of the karmis. And the life of the karmis is not advocated in the Vaishnava Vedanta. Devotees of Lord Krishna do not simply resort to working so hard to keep the body fit for exploration and exploitation of this same body. And there's several ways that people do this. People think that to worship the body, you have to take some intoxication, please the body. Which is also not bad. I'm trying to be careful not to be critical about whatever someone does. But the description in the purport is that the karmis, they don't know their left and right. In other words, they don't know the ultimate goal of life. So they simply embark on acquiring, high-profile skills to protract their existence in the prison of material existence, material life. Their life, material, the whole cosmic creation is just a part of the spiritual world that is like a prison. So we are veiled from the reality of bliss, eternity, and knowledge. And so here our lives are basically characterized by ignorance and temporariness. Everything here is temporary. We can't say it's false. No, there's reality, but it's temporary. So even the enjoyment, people relish and giving pleasure to the bodies. But when you're getting old, then everything becomes topsy-turvy. You can't do those things that you were doing when you were young. Even the food you eat, if you like, for instance, you like to eat fried foods. By the time you're getting old, the doctors advise you not to be eating fried food because it could contribute to thromboembolic heart diseases. It could facilitate the blockade of your arteries. So even the very things that we like in our initial life, in our initial stage of life, when we're getting old, we are advised against it. I mean, there are so many people who have diabetes, and the doctor gives them some advice on not to eat particular type of foods, and they will not follow it. One of my friends in the US is a neuroscientist. He told me his parents in South India, they have diabetes. And so when he visits, he tells them, Papa, Mama, doctor says like this. Then they shun him. They shun him that because you have a PhD, you want to control us. Because you're a scientist, so you want to control us. But then he told me recently, the mother passed away. So the father is a little bit alert. But it's like a renunciation at the crematorium. When someone is being a cadaver is being cremated, people become very detached, very just momentary detachment. When you leave the crematorium, again, business as usual. So this is the type of conditioning that the material modes of nature have facilitated. And sometimes we level unnecessary blame on people. We are stupid, you can't do this, you can't do that. But no. People act even against their better judgment. Oh yeah. We are forced to do certain things that traditionally we wouldn't make a choice. This is what I want to do. But we are forced. the senses and the mind, the lust, forces us, impels us to do things against our better judgment. This is the nature of material existence. And sometimes someone thinks, oh, I never did anything wrong. Why these things, bad things are happening to me? No one is an innocent victim on this planet. There are no innocent victims. Maybe this life we're not able to perceive what could have caused our suffering. But what about past life? You trace back. So, the bottom line is that the life of a kami is very dangerous because it's a life that is simply full of ignorance, full of anxieties and complaints. They don't want to take responsibility. If even they commit crime and, they are found guilty, they find someone to shift the blame onto. The whole idea is they want to do things without any restriction. But life on this planet is full of circumscription. We are circumscribed. And therefore, to just think that I would be a kami, just engage in activities and enjoy my life, enjoy the results, that's not a very intelligent proposition. Because we see so many people, even someone becomes the president of a country, the prime minister, and we've seen this. In America, no one is above the law. But sometimes some people act as if they're above the law. And they can get away with it. But again, that is also with time. When the karma is matured, even the so-called invisible, kneels down. And so, this is the life of kamis, working so hard, develop economically, have plenty of... I know of celebrities in America, they have, they're billionaires. Billionaires. But a bunch of them are in prison right now. Oh yeah. After being even a billionaire, you have your private jets, you can go anywhere you want. You seem to be not circumscribed. But if we are not circumscribed, why are you in prison? I'm not happy about people being in prison. Let's be clear. Okay? I just give me some graphic example. I know of one of these guys, Robert Kelly, is a star in the music industry. A star. He sings, and my goodness, he's in prison. He's serving 30 years in jail. For what? Not because he served Krishna. You think because he was jailed because he served Lord Krishna? You think like that? No. Because of crimes. And you know what impels people to commit crimes? You know what? What makes people to commit crimes? I ask this question to some lawyers sometimes, and the response is that we are taught how to defend our clients in court. We're not criminologists. Yes, who can tell us why people commit crimes? Why are the kamis committing crimes? Yes?
Lust, fear, anger, wrath.
So sounds highfalutin, sounds great. But we want to be specific. What is it called? It's there in your books. It's there in the Bhagavatam. It's there in your Bhagavatam. It's there in your books.
Cheating propensity.
Cheating, yeah, but cheating propensity is just a propensity. What if I have a cheating propensity and then I resist that propensity and I don't yield, I don't give into it? Yeah, that's correct, but I can resist it. I mean, it's like a negative change. The mind initiates a negative change and then the individual says, no, this is cheating propensity, so I'm going to resist it. Yes, can someone else try? Why is crime? Huh? But material nature. That sounds also good. Yes, please. Ignorance. That sounds good. Yes. Huh? Wrong desire. See, all of these answers are good answers. Selfish. Yeah, these are all good answers. But, there's a specific information in your books, in our books. Yeah? Cannot control the mind. Cannot control the mind. Adanta gopi vishatam tamishram. Uncontrolled mind and senses is the cause of all our problems. And you know what? In criminology, those who study criminology to maybe to PhD level or masters, they know this. There is a theory in criminology. It's called the General Theory of Crime, propounded by Hitchie, Gottfriedson and Hitchie in 1990. They proposed this theory. And I like making reference to this all the time because we have the information about this. Long, long ago, before these criminologists come to formulate their theory, that all crimes and antisocial behavior is due to, or are due to, low self-control. The same thing Mataji said. They take this stuff from the Bhagavatam, no reference to the Bhagavatam, no reference to the Vedas, and then they polish it, and they say, this is my theory. In academia, when even you say something, and you have that idea from somewhere, you need to make a reference to that. If you don't do that, it becomes a violation of academic integrity. So this is what the Western scholars are doing. Violation of academic integrity. So, the commies, they got to work so hard, develop economically, have private jets, become billionaires. But the mind and the senses are uncontrolled. Very, very awkward things transpire in the lives of the commies. Why? Because there is no censorship regarding the activities of the senses and the mind. It is like whatever goes. I have the money, whatever goes. So just being a karma is not enough. It's not sufficient. It does not really release us. It does not prevent us from getting involved in unethical activities that may lead to incarceration. And we've seen this a lot in America. Even President Trump, our president, is a criminal. He's a felon. The most powerful person on this planet is a felon. In the Bhagavatam, there is this predictions in the Bhagavatam, I think in the 11th canto, about what the kings are going to be in Kali Yuga, towards the end of Kali Yuga. They will drive people, the leaders will drive people away into the forest. Overtaxation is already happening. People are being chased away from their jobs. It's already happening in America. Thousands and thousands of people. These are skilled workers, professionals, doctors, PhDs. Kings are very powerful. Politicians are very powerful. But this is the very essence of karmic life. Being a kami, your future is not foreordained. No matter how highly placed on the caliber of social security. No, it does not really protect you from getting into trouble. And therefore, to be a kami or to walk on the platform of Kamakanda is not the best. It should not be the best option for any reasonable person. So then, Prabhupada talks also about the Gyanis and the Yogis. For the Gyanis, Prabhupada mentioned in the purport here that, they endeavor so much that they perform so much of austerities to be able to realize the Brahman and attain Nirvana, emerge into the Brahman effulgence at the end of life. This is the whole thing about Gyanis. But then, Prabhupada mentions that they fall back into the material world at some point in time. That is also mentioned by Lord Brahma and the demigods in the Bhagavatam, 10th canto. In the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma and the demigods, they mention Yenye Ravidaksha Vimukta Maninas, Tvavasa Bhava Avisuddha Buddhaya, Arya Krishna Parampadam Tata Patantya Do Nadista Yuspan Angreya. Patantya Da. They fall back. They attain the high profile spiritual position, merging into the Brahman effulgence. They labor so hard. See, we are not performing austerities. The Gyanis and the Yogis, they perform a lot. Yet we are complaining. For the Gyanis, there's no question of sex, regulated or unregulated. No. Nothing like that. You are into it. Oh yeah. Here we have all these, provisions, You can be a Grihastha, you can be a Brahmachari, you can be a sannyasi, you can be this, you can be that. Yet we are complaining. So, the position of the Gyanis is not also admirable, because after laboring so hard and attaining that high position, attaining their perfection, realizing Brahman, merging into the Brahman effulgence at the end of life, they don't stay there forever. At some point in time, they fall back because of activities. Now, no matter how much money you have, and you have all of these estates and mansions all over the place, you need socialization. Otherwise, you will be what? You'll be what if you don't have socialization? Not dead. You may not die, but you have some problems in a prison. Okay, let me explain. In prison, if someone is proven to be like a problem, they put that person in isolation, and very quickly they commit suicide and die. They become depressed. So no matter how much billions of dollars you have, how many mansions you have, how many Lamborghinis you have. What's the most expensive car in Germany? In America, they have different ones, just like Lamborghini and all this stuff. So, despite all of these fixed and moving assets, if someone does not have proper socialization, they become distressed. They become miserable. So similarly, yes, one may merge into the Brahman effulgence, but there is no activity. You're just happy, but there is no real activity. And so, at some point in time, the spirit soul is characterized by activities. So that is very much, it's not in consonance with the characteristics of the spirit soul. So at some point in time, the Brahman liberated Jiva desires to have activity, then they come into the material world. And that is why Lord Brahma says, if someone is thinking they are liberated, that he says, this is exactly the words of Lord Brahma. He said, that is vimukta manina. Your thinking is liberated in mind only. I mean, it's like, I see the statement that sloka, Brahma describing the position of the Gyanis as something. I mean, it's like, just a useless waste of time. You're just wasting your time. Like an endeavor that you can really be satisfied with it in the long run. Immediate results, yeah. You're free from birth and death. Imagine the Brahman effulgence. But you can't stay there for long because, you can't stay there forever because of the need for activities as characterized by the spirit soul. So the Gyanis, the Yogis, they have a similar problem. So Prabhupada is mentioning in purport that it is only the devotees who have this affection, this friendship and affection. Lord Krishna is a friend of all living entities. So the pure devotees of the Lord, also we have to try to cultivate friendship. I don't like saying what people tell me, but I had this long-time friend, and we become disconnected after he started. When people have a family, their whole life changes, their behavior changes. And so sometimes also we don't want to interfere with the people's change, behavioral change. But it's been more than 10 years. We never had some close connections. But then I still send him some of my quotes that have been put on YouTube and on Facebook. So then recently, I think 3 days ago, he messaged me to say that he wants to speak to me. This is somebody, he bought his own house, he has a wife with maybe 2 or 3 kids. It's a young man. But his complaint? His complaint he gave to me was that sometimes it feels like just living ISKCON. Why? For the whole period he's been in that community, I don't want to mention the city, but in America, we live a life of rugged individualism. So if you're coming from a place like Fiji or India to America, in most cases people are not able to cope with the rugged individualism. This boy is from Delhi. So he told me that sometimes he just wants to live ISKCON. Why? It's that because he has been there for more than a decade, and he can't count on somebody to say, this is my friend. Yeah. So you ask yourself, who is your friend in this community? You should ask yourself, you may say, oh, this is in America. You should ask yourself, who is your friend in this community? So, okay, look, in some of the countries, I know in the case of UK and America, you're married, and then maybe you have some problem with your wife, and your wife can carry one of your small bags and give it to you, or you quit, just go. When my brain settles down, I can call you back. Where will you go? You have somebody to call and say, hey, my wife checked me out. Can I come and hang out with you? You have somebody like that here? Huh? I don't know whether the women in Germany, they are not so powerful, but in America and UK, it does happen. So this boy, I felt so bad. So he was asking me some questions. He had a master's degree, then he went on to do a master's degree in mechanical engineering. He's an engineer, then he went on to do MBA, and then some senior devotees, they were just criticizing him and all those type of things, all these things. So he spoke to me, and then I like doused up all those his worries and, spoke to him in a very palatable way, and he doused up all those his worries. So when we finished, and I let him go, he messaged me to say, I feel better. I feel better a lot. I have other things to share with you later. Rupa Goswami says we should have a confidant in our lives. It's there, again, in your books. This is not academic knowledge. It's there in your books. In Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami says we should have a confidant. Most devotees don't have a confidant. And then you get bottled up. You don't have someone to share your challenges with, your traumatic experiences with. It's very dangerous. Even sociologically speaking, it's dangerous. Spiritually speaking, it's dangerous. Because we've seen, this guy, he was about to blow. He's initiated. His wife is also initiated. So, Lord Krishna is the friend of all living entities. We should also develop some friendship. Not only with Krishna, an affection. Not only with Krishna, but with the devotees. Why? Because Lord Krishna mentions in the form of Narayan, in the conversation with Lakshmiji, in the Gita Mahatmya. I like making a reference to this text because sometimes, in the Katha Upanishad, Lord Krishna mentions to Arjuna that those who try to worship him directly, they are not his devotees. Those who think that they are his devotees, they are not. Those who are devotees of his devotees. So, in a similar vein, yes, it is okay to develop this affection and friendship with Krishna. But what about his devotees around us? To develop affection and friendship with Krishna may be difficult, especially if someone is not a perfected soul, is not a pure devotee, you may not even know how to go about it. But we can try to develop some friendship and, with devotees in our communities. That saves a lot of trouble. So we hear the Bhagavatam, we hear all types of leelas and all these things. I bet you most of these leelas, there are some certain things that we can take home with to be able to apply in our own lives for our own transformation, individually and community-wise. So here, this text is about friendship and affection for the Lord. And anyone can develop friendship and affection. How to develop friendship and affection? Give someone something. When was the last time you gave something to somebody? I'm sorry, it becomes like, Go Govinda Swami. The late Go Govinda Swami, if he's giving a class and you sit in the front, oh, you're in trouble. He will talk and point to you. Yeah. So I don't mean you, but so development of loving relationship is important. because without friendship, it is very difficult to help people when we are not friends with them. If you are not friends with somebody, if even they do something wrong and you do to try to go to correct them, it will become a problem. I've seen this in my own life. Some guys who are so difficult, the whole community, nobody can talk to them. Even the most senior people, they cannot talk to them. You cannot dare talk to them. Because everybody is afraid of those guys. But I remember on an occasion that people complained to me about this, one of these guys, and he's been my friend right from the time we were young. We took first and second initiation at the same time. And I got really fed up of the complaints. So I thought, okay, better to renounce my relationship with him and do the right thing. He's my friend, and he come in to complain to me. So I approached him, and I addressed him, and I thought that is the end of my relationship with him. In fact, that was my mindset, that, okay, better to solve the problem and then end my relationship with him. It's okay, it's better than not doing anything, because my conscience will blame me. So, but then, he even perceived I was very angry with him, upset with him. This was several years ago, 20, 30 years ago. But you know what? He turned to me and said, Vasudeva, you're my friend. Whatever you say, I'll take it. Yeah. That is, we are peers. We are peers right from, when we join. So it's difficult even to correct your peers. But because of that friendship, he told me, Vasudeva, you're my friend. Whatever you tell me, I will accept. I remember one time he told me, people are complaining about me. But if I'm so bad, then why are you my friend? I say, I'm adjustable. I go by psychology for adjustment. For majority of people are maladjusted like you. One of the main causes of conflicts is maladjustment. We don't want to create friendly relationships because a number of people are so maladjusted. So, the bottom line is that we are trying to be devotees, and we should practice, fundamental things like friendship. And it becomes easy to develop that friendship with the Lord. Friendship, someone is your friend, but how do you know when someone is your friend? Bolo. How do you know? They give you some gifts, they give you some prasadam. They give you some gift. Oh yeah, Rupa Goswami again mentioned that in his Nectar of Instruction. So these strategies have been provided by our acharyas. We should just implement it. Implementation could be a problem, but it saves a lot of hell. It helps to improve personal transformation and community transformation. So Bansira life is not so juicy, boy. Okay? Let's be clear. Material existence is not so juicy. Because even the highly placed, the high achievers, they're going to jail. So, we have to see how we are having some proper understanding of Srila Vyasadev's teachings, instructions of the Bhagavatam, and not to be attached to materialistic life or the impersonal realization or wanting to get some power like the yogis. Because power, when Krishna was instructing Uddhava in the Bhagavatam, Krishna was instructing Uddhava on the mystic cities. But I remember one of the things he told Uddhava is that he doesn't value these things for his devotees. People want to be yogis. He said these things are not valuable to the devotees because they distract significantly from the path of pure bhakti. You want to be a yogi, you want to acquire some mystic power and that power and this power. Good for you, but understand the implications. So any comments or questions? Yes.
Maybe just a comment. So, I was just the last 5 minutes trying to connect the topic you're talking on with the verse. I thought like, okay, maybe we diverted a bit from the topic, but then the first thing I saw is this Badha Sorida, and it seems like this is what you did to your friend back then when he told you, Vasudeva, whatever you do, I'll listen to you, because it seemed like you bound him with this friendship.
Yeah. Your friendship is required. And this specifically mentioned in this verse, devotee is friendly to the Lord, has affection for the Lord. So, if we have affection and we have friendship with the Lord and we undermine all the devotees around us, what does that mean? Suppose if you say you are very good friends with, say, the Prime Minister or the Chancellor of Germany, and then his child or her child or whatever is around, and you don't create a good relationship with them, then your whole idea of having a close relationship with the Chancellor is a facade. So Krishna wants us to actually take care of the devotees more than we do for him. And the whole thing is that explanations that are being given in the purport is just to give us some idea that material life is dicey. You may think that you have attained a good position as a kami, as a jnani, as a yogi, but everything could crash at any time. Yeah, and we've seen all of this in most cases. So thank you. Any other comments or questions? Yes, please.
If we are living Hare Krishna Maharaj, if we are living outside and we are working or something as a grihastha, we have to deal with people who are not devotees, especially if we are working. And so they may tend to be as friends or colleagues, and how we can behave with them that we don't become too much familiar, but still we have to give some respect. Or even we have some people who may donate for the preaching or whatever it is, or they may support but they cannot become a devotee. So what is in that case, how we can have that Preeti Lakshanam with them also?
Yeah. You see, let's be clear. Everybody we preach to is not going to sit down and chant Hare Krishna, chant 16 rounds, okay? So some people in this life, they will just build up for their future. So it's our duty that wherever we may be, people around us, we have to be friendly. To the point that we can give them prasadam. I know one doctor in Louisiana. She's a psychiatric doctor. I think I told this story in some temple recently. She told me how she used to make cookies. She's a psychiatric doctor. In America, to become a doctor is very, very difficult. It's like becoming a devata, a demigod. Yeah, because you are forced, you have to go and get a degree before you start applying to medical school. In Europe, it's not like that. In Asia, it's not like that. In Africa, it's not like that. You go from high school or HSC and then you go straight into medical school. In America, no. You want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, first you have to get a degree, and then you start applying to go and study there. So, when you have the opportunity, this lady, she told me how she will make cookies, talking about how to deal with people around, with your colleagues, people around you. It's very simple. Be friendly. This lady, she will make cookies, bring to the office, put them on our table. Okay, her colleagues will come. It's a big hospital. Her colleagues will come, and American people like cookies. I don't know what the case here, but they like cookies. So people come and then they just take the cookies and present them, so it also tastes differently. Very good, sweet. So she used to do that. People became so much affectionate towards her. And then, you know her next step? She organized a mini food for life in her home. She organized a lunch, and then she invited all these doctors, and they came. And so she served them, she and her husband, they served them prasadam. And as they were taking this sumptuous meal, she set up a big screen, really big screen, of Prabhupada giving a lecture. And they were eating and listening to Prabhupada. So, depending on what type of work force we are in, we can always devise a means to be friendly with people. At least people should see us as, those to rely on when you're in trouble, those to seek for advice. Even just by being planted in a particular office, people around you, they know your character. When they're in trouble, they may seek your advice. There's so many stories surrounding that. And this is why, for most devotees who are professionals, they'll be doing a lot more high-profile preaching than the devotees even living in the temple. Yeah. One more minute.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for your lecture. It's a wonderful point on friendship, because I've also seen it seems that people often leave because there is then no relationship or that personal part on friendship. Could you give any more deeper points on friendship with others? Because sometimes it can be that, oh, you're my friend, you must do everything for me, or I will tell you all my problems, and then you can just,
Yeah, thank you. See, again, we have to do this with caution. Because sometimes devotees are so carefree. Someone tells us, someone comes close. So a new devotee comes. He comes close to us. He tells us their stuff. They tell us their stuff, and we take them to the street. I've seen people who blew because of that. Because someone tells you their problem, it is supposed to be confidential. I mean, it's like going to meet the doctor. The doctor, he has all type of stories. They don't divulge that to the public, to anybody. Even in some cases, even in most cases, even their spouse, they would not tell, because that's part of the contract. So, as devotees, when we do develop some friendly relationship with people, people will come to us and tell us their stuff. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to be able to solve all of their problems. But you know what? Just by giving attention to somebody, listening to somebody, unwinding their problem, people value that. He listened to me. She listened to me. She's a good listener. He's a good listener. He cares. People want that. See, I'm busy. So that guy, I could have just told him, Hey guy, you know I'm a research fellow, a guru, a Swami, I'm traveling around, I'm so busy. He said, oh Maharaj, I understand, you're busy. But I gave time. And now he told me just immediately after that he felt really better. He has more to tell me about what is going on with his life. So, it's not that, there are some cases that people come to tell me this stuff. I mean, it's like one lady, I don't want to mention the country where she is, but she's originally from America. We know each other in America. She has some kids. One of the kids, she told me about what the kids, the behavior of the kid. I said, come on, quickly, go see a therapist. She said, oh, they've been undergoing some therapy with a number of therapists. And she said, the boy has improved a lot. So there's sometimes also some devotees think that they cannot see a doctor. I've met some devotees like that. Yeah, so we have the fundamental issue there is we tend to be too busy and people come around us, we don't give them quality time. Even in our families, we tend to be too busy, we don't give them quality time. With our spouses, we don't give them quality time. With our children, we don't give them quality time. But what? Using Krishna as a smoke screen, as a facade. So, if you're not ready to give quality time to your spouse, you're not ready to give quality time to your children, why endeavor for that? Why have a spouse when you are already married to Krishna, that you're so busy with Krishna that you cannot give time to your spouse? Don't get married. Because when you do marry, there is a high responsibility. And you have to be an expert manager of effective time manager to be able to deal with two scenarios, your family and your service to Krishna. It is very challenging. And your kids, you have to give time to them. I remember one day in Washington, D.C., I was in this home, and this boy, the mother just returned from work. She's a nurse. She just came back from work and sat on the couch. And this boy just, boom, and lie down on the mother. Big boy, I think 12 or 13 years at that time. He just lie down on the mother. She sat there for over an hour. Because sometimes we get too busy, we are working, we get too busy, we don't have time for our children. I'll give you another example. There was this boy, this was in India. There was this child. So the child went to ask him, Mother, Mama, how much are you being paid an hour? How much? She's a professional. How much are you being paid an hour? So traditional situation with Indian parents, she just ignored him. She went away. He came again next time. This is a boy, pre-10. He's not 10 years yet. He came again next time and said, Mama, how much are you being paid an hour? So the mother thought, oh, there's something going on here. So she responded. She told the amount she's being paid an hour. And the boy went to his room, under his pillow, he used to keep his money there, and brought exactly the amount the mother was being paid an hour and gave it to her. And said, Mama, give me an hour. This is not Purana stories telling you what is going on. This is the planet we are facing. We bring children and we emotionally abuse them. When you don't give quality time to your children, that constitutes emotional abuse. And some people suffer for the rest of their life because of abuse, emotional abuse from parents. So, don't make your child a statistics. They say charity begins at home. We want to be friendly with people. It should be demonstrated first in your family. Give quality time to your children. I'm sorry, this is not the business of a Swami. I'm supposed to just tell you, chant Hare Krishna and be happy, right? Yeah, but then see, our society is based on communities. And the family is a microcosm of the community. We can't expect a virile community when the families are dead, alive. The tree can be standing, but it's dead. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.